Hello, welcome back everybody. In this section we will be doing top 50 prelims question that could be asked from the constitution section. Constitution is very important and it comes in almost every state. This would be judiciary. These questions could be asked in judiciary, your LLM exam or various other competitive exams. You can expect these questions. Now just stay tuned with me. I'll give you the question and the respective answers. Alright. So question number 1 is, you can just note down how you should go about from this video. Take your note questions and the respective answers. Note down reasoning besides this and watch the video 2 times, at least 2 times, to able to revise these. Alright, you can first time you can watch at normal speed and the second time you can just 2x the speed. Now let's just start with the first question. In constitution, so the question is, which of the procedure are necessary for removal of for appointment of high court judge. So the relevant article is this 217 is the appointment of the high court judge, and the options would be and I'm telling you the actual options. One is the consent of CJI. Second is the consultation with the governor of state. Third option is consent of CJ of High Court. Then consultation with the CJI. Consultation with the CJ of High Court. These are the actual options. Now tell me which one of them are correct. 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5 or 2, 4, 5. Now tell me which are if we consider 2, that is consultation of governor of state, that is important, we know that. Okay, then the consultation of the CJI is also there. Alright, now we also need the consultation. This is the consultation or the consent. Consultation of the CJI of the High Court. So the correct answer is 2, 4, 5. Just check article 217 with regard to this question and you will have the same clause related to this. Just give me a second, I will produce the as it is, the whole provision. Let me produce you the provisions. I would state in the green. Alright, no, I'll do in the red and our case laws would be in the green. So 217 deals with appointment of conditions to the office of the judge of the High Court. Okay, 2171, every judge of the High Court shall be appointed by President. So High Court judge appointed by President. नेक्स्ट इसका सेपरेट क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, by warrant under his hand or seal after consultation. Now the answer is there, after consultation with CJI, governor plus, and in the case of amendment the judge of the CJ of High Court. So only word that has been written is the consultation. These small specific things are asked in the exam. Alright, now expiry retirement date is also there, 62 years. And if he has to decide, if he has to 1A, if he has to resign from his office, then also he will address it to the president only. The one who appoints will also have accept the resignation. Same the removal as of the 124. Now under 2172 we have the qualifications. Now what are the qualifications for a judge of the High Court? First, she should be a citizen of India. Next, 10 years of judicial experience. Next, 10 years advocate, 10 years held judicial office, 10 years advocate of High Court or of 2 successive courts. Person in judicial office, he has held during the advocate will be considered. Computing the period during which a person has an advocate. Then age of the question shall be decided by the president after consultation with CJ, and the decision of the president shall be final. Under clause 3, it is said if there is a question in regards to the age, then it would be decided by the president after the CGI consultation, and his decision will be final. So this was article 217, one of the most important article. Many questions can be asked from this article only. Moving to the second question. A distinguished jurist can be appointed as a judge. Now where he can be appointed as a judge? High Court, Administrative Tribunal, Supreme Court, Administrative Tribunal, and Supreme Court. The correct answer here is the Supreme Court. Alright, you should, but is there any person in the history who has been appointed? No, not yet. Well, the answer is Supreme Court. Third question. The opinion delivered by the Supreme Court under Article 143. Article 143, opinion of Supreme Court. Options are binding on all courts, then binding on precedent, binding on all courts in India, binding on all courts of India. Alright, and the last is not binding on precedent, but binding on all courts except Supreme Court. A, B, C, D. Which of the option is correct? You tell me which of the, comment down below, like I'll just tell you which option would be correct here. Article 143 of the Indian Constitution. Alright. These provisions are very important. Yes, D is the correct option. Giving you the synopsis of this, Article 143. Article 143 states power of president to consult Supreme Court. Simple. Here the president would not be binding, but if the Supreme Court tenders any opinion, that would be binding on all courts. How? Let me just read it out for you. Article 143. Alright. Power of Parliament to consult Supreme Court if at any time it appears to the President that a question of law or fact has arisen and is likely to arise which is such of a nature and of public importance that it is expedient to obtain the opinion of the Supreme Court, he may refer the question to the court for consideration, and the court may, after such learning things fit, report to the President. The President may, notwithstanding anything in the proviso to Article 131, refer a dispute of kind mentioned in the said proviso, and Supreme Court shall, after such hearing things fit, report to the President as such opinion thereon. Now, in nowhere in Article 43 this has been written, but advisory opinion of the Supreme Court would be considered. Nowhere this is written in the Article 143. Okay. Next, third question. Just give me a minute. I'm getting a lot of messages. Now question number 3 is, we have done 3 questions. This is question number 4. Question number 4 is, a judge of the Supreme Court may be removed. This is a repetitive question, can be asked again as well, and will be asked. Judge of the Supreme Court remove on the grounds of, your options are violation of Constitution, insolvency, insanity, proved misbehavior, or incapacity, or all of the above. Choose your answer in the next 5 seconds, and you can have answer here. Many of the correct answer is C. Okay, just don't go haywire. Only proved misbehavior and incapacity has been mentioned. Now, next 5th question, SLP is allowed under Article 136. 6th question, we have to rush it a little bit. If there will be a question that requires any explanation or any certain kind of reasoning, we will be doing that in a detail. But let's just complete the topic first. Okay, SLP 136, this has been asked. The questions that I'm writing are being are asked. So there was a question marked the correct response. Appointment of Judge of High Court. Appointment of High Court Judge has been mentioned under. Fast answer this question, 217. Correct. Then we have transfer of Judge of High Court. Transfer where 217 में अगर अपॉइंटमेंट हो रही है तो ट्रांसफ़र कितने में होएगा आपका 222 में. और जुरिडिक्शन तो आपको पता ही नहीं चाहिए, ये हम हाई कोर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज़ 226. करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट 7. नाउ अगेन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट. विच आर्टिकल टेल्स यू अबाउट एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट? 124. करेक्ट. Then original jurisdiction 131. Correct. Then we have appointment of ad hoc judge. Ad hoc judge is where? Supreme Court ad hoc judge. You sure 127? Alright, considering 127. Then acting judge, acting CJI 126. All these provisions are important. You should remember that. This was the 7th question. Now 8th question. This is important. What was the status of India on Jan 26, 1950? So we were sovereign, we were democratic, and we were republic. After which amendment you will tell in the comment section. Secular and socialist word were added to this list. Next 9th question, very important, case law based. Case law is Hoist, this is C. Hoist Pharmaceutical versus State of Bihar. This is in relation with the article 254. This has to be read with article 254. Okay. Next, UOI versus HS Dhillon. This to be read with 248. Then Prafulla Kumar versus Bank of Commerce. This is important. All right. Versus Bank of Commerce. This has been dealt under 246. And last case, State of Bombay versus RMDC. State of Bombay versus RMDC. This has been under 245. You should know this table. Though I have not made a table of it, but you should make a table of it. Now tell me, what was held, or what does article 254 says? Article 254, what does it states? What does it states? It says the repugnancy, inconsistency between laws made by the parliament and laws made by the state. If any of the provision made by the legislature is repugnant, just remember 254 with the word repugnancy. And whenever you hear the word repugnancy, remember this case, pharmaceutical versus state of Bihar. Alright, this is a trick that I am telling you, remember it. Article 248 we have H.S. Dillon versus Union of India versus H.S. Dillon. Whenever 248 comes, just remember the term residuary power of legislations. Parliament has exclusive power to make any law which is in the residuary list. Okay, such power include power making law, imposing a tax not mentioned in either of those lists. 248 Union of India, H.S. Dillon साल 248. Repugnancy के लिए we have pharmaceutical वाला. Cool. Then 246. All these provisions hold very significant value. Whenever Article 246 comes, what comes in your mind? Yes, tell me. When you hear 246, what comes in your mind? Lists comes into your mind. that there are any subject matters in the union list में parliament को बनाना है, state list में state को बनाना है, subject matter ही है इसके अंदर. So 246 has to be read with Praful Kumar versus Bank of Commerce. If you like to have the facts discussed in these cases, then we can also do that. 246 just states that we have 3 lists, and according to this list there would be have separate jurisdiction, separate legislative powers. 246, just remember the case of Praful Kumar versus Bank of Commerce. And the last we have 245. Fatafat se tell me, what do you mean by Article 245? What comes under in your mind? 245 tells you about, yes, extent of powers. Good. Extent of laws made by Parliament and by the state legislature. Alright. No law made by Parliament shall be deemed to be invalid on the ground that it would have extraterritorial application and subject to the provision of the Constitution. Parliament make law for the whole or any part of India. Legislature of state for the legislative. Just 245 tells you about extent only. And this is RMDC. Okay. 254, you might be confused about 245 and 254, same letters, same numbers. 254 आपका रिपग्नेंसी का है, पहले 5 आएगा फिर 4 आएगा, पहले बड़ा फिर छोटा. अगर पहले छोटा आ जाता है दैट मीन्स आपको सिर्फ एक्सटेंट बता रहे हैं, वो भी रिपग्नेंट नहीं हुआ है. These 4 cases you should be knowing very 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 well done. Alright, very good, you should be knowing this. Now let's come to the 10th question. 10th question we have related to the doctrines. I am just skipping this question. Just remember there are 4 doctrines and you can comment down below. I am just skipping this question. 11th question is related to that if a legislative power of the parliament or the state, can they make laws prospectively, retrospectively, both or none? So both. They can make both retrospectively and prospectively. 12 is doctrine of pith and substance, relates to whole enactment, main object of the enactment, and scope and effect. Scope and effect. Then only the doctrine of pith and substance would be applicable. 13th question. This is important. From which article to which article we have distribution of legislative powers? Distribution of legislative powers we have from article 245 to 255. 45 is the extent of laws that we know, we just did case RMDC. distinct distribution, and 254 we just read repugnancy. So this is only 10 sections, 245 to 255. All right. Next, 14th. There is a resolution under Article 249. This is your homework. 249 clause 1, there is a resolution mentioned under this. So what is the time limit? I can just tell you the time limit should not be exceeded by 12 months. But why this resolution? What is there? You need to tell me. Alright. You also need to tell me Article 248, which is the 15th question. We have done this right now. That is residuary power. Alright. Residuary power and the relevant case law is H.S. Dhillon, residuary power. Cool. 16th question. Which part deals with the emergency provision? Tell me which part. Part 18 deals with emergency provision. This is important, very simple. Nothing to be very complex. Next, internal disturbance has been substituted with armed rebellion by 44th Amendment. 18th question. Under 352, can the proclamation of emergency be extended? Yes. 6 months at a time. These are all simple questions. That's why I'm just going in a little bit fast. Next, we have notice to move resolution to revoke the continuance. For revocation, how many members do we require? We require 1/10. 1/10 of total members of House of People. That is Lok Sabha. Okay. 20th question. When emergency is declared under 352, we have emergency declared. Then Article 19 is only suspended. Suspended only under the circumstances and not suspended under armed rebellion. It is not suspended. It is suspended in the case of declaration of war or external aggression, but not under the armed rebellion. It is suspended. This is also a good question. 21. We can just skip it. It is not necessary. 22 is Article 20 and 21 would not be suspended under emergency provision. This has been added by 44th Amendment. So this was the answer. Question was this, which amendment? 23, that mark the incorrect. This is also not required. 24, let's just 25 questions. Alright, we'll do another series with 25. Alright. 24th, for proclamation, the president may extend life of House of People. Life of Lok Sabha can be extended 1 year at a time, 1 year only, by 1 year, and after 6 months it has been ceased. It should be a new Lok Sabha there is. And last question for the day is 25th, in which the Supreme Court held that 368 clause 4, 368 clause 5 are unconstitutional. In which case did it held unconstitutional and invalid? That article by 42nd Amendment. This has been added by 42nd Amendment. So which case made them invalid? Minerva Mills versus Union of India. I think all these 25 questions are clear to you, and if you want another 25 questions with proper reasoning, today we didn't do a little bit of reasoning, but if you want, just comment down below for the plus 25. Comment just plus 25. Alright, and very soon we will be coming up with the mains answer writing, in which we'll do the past year papers and we'll write down the answers in the class itself. So if you want to connect, just press the bell icon. I'm stating it here for the first time. You can just connect with the channel and let's start our judiciary journey. See you again. Have a good day.